we can continuously wonder, why are there more layers left? And this brings me back to the vibration journey I told you about, where I was really actively doing a lot of work in the vibration, noticing those changes, but then still hitting a roadblock in the sense that something really heavy happened in my life. And I was like, hold on, all I was doing was the right work. And all I was doing was having the positive mindset and really resolving and working on my shadows. Like, I did the work, what's happening? And I realized that my blueprint was still holding some of those old stories. So your business isn't stalled because of divine timing. You're just hitting a blueprint block like I was. But here's the one thing I shared with a client to reveal the real root and start the process of clearing it to get her healing business back on track. It's by divine design that you come in with this core blueprint. The way I'll describe it is, if you can imagine a source, bright light shining through a pasta strainer, a colander, a bowl with those holes in, you will notice that that light shines through and it dots out onto the wall around it, almost like a disco ball. And what we could say is that source light is perhaps your source code, your soul, and it's shining these different lights on the wall, and perhaps they're different colors. And that's coming from the white light, all these different colors. So it's a fragment of what it was, of what it is, what itself is. And it, by divine design, has a fragmentation so that it can explore that aspect of itself. And these dots can be many different lifetimes, including the one you're focused upon right now. So your dot focused on this life. And realizing that you came in with this blueprint that is not the original source code, but in fact on purpose is a lot of unresolved things, so that you could explore them, transmute them, and then start to bring more of, as you resolve this, more of that source light in, because now that blueprint can actually hold it. And so the life and the experiences that do happen are triggered by and result from this source code. And in many cases, there's a theme that we came here to overcome, essentially, because as we can transmute it and then remember and realize the power that exists within us, we can allow more of that expression from self to really come in. Your intuition is not a muscle or a thing. I know I like to often use the idea, okay, it's a muscle, practice it, etc. But really what it is, it's a flow. It's an energy of you. An energy of the source you coming in to this blueprint. And when the blueprint is unresolved, then it acts more also as an agitation. And the more you disallow the expression of yourself, the less capacity that floodgate of you can come through. In other words, your intuition, your power, your ability to transmute, the less of it can come through, because you're basically, through the conditioning and the fragmentation of your blueprint, deciding in an unconscious sense, again, by divine design, that you cannot express yourself, be who you are, it's not safe, etc., etc. And a lot of these experiences in life have really ingrained that in you. And the beauty about the fact that it has been so ingrained, that it has been such a difficult journey, means that the overcoming, the, let's say, underdog really taking on that journey is so much more of a revelation, so much more of a celebration, right? So the power of your remembrance and the strength you bring through with that is also much more powerful. The reason I mention this is because so many of us can really do so much of this work, and we can continuously wonder, well, why are there more layers left? And this brings me back to the vibration journey I told you about, where I was really actively doing a lot of work in the vibration, noticing those changes, but then still hitting a roadblock in the sense that something really heavy happened in my life. And I was like, hold on, all I was doing was the right work. And all I was doing was having the positive mindset and really resolving and working on my shadows. Like, I did the work, what's happening? And I realized that my blueprint was still holding some of those old stories. When I say old stories, I'm not just talking about the experiences of this life. I'm talking about the story of the fragmentation of that part of the soul that was divinely designed so that you would experience that, so that you would overcome that, transmute that. Hey, real quick, it's my mission to create a butterfly effect by teaching leaders like you how to embody their greatest impact. And the aim of this video is to reach even more spiritual teachers so we can start to make an even greater difference. So if that's you, click on the subscribe button. And if you know someone who would actually benefit from these insights, go ahead and share this video with them. Thank you for helping me with my mission and for helping them with theirs. The beauty is that we don't have to wait until life is completely finished in order to come back and realize, cool, we've done it. Now let's go to the next life. We can actually do it within this one because we're moving away from a cause and effect system into a construct of force density, which means we can resolve this already now. That's the good news. Yes, there is a lot of work that entails, and there's a lot that we can discuss about that. But what I will say is that the journey that has led up until now has created an opportune moment and the possibility of such growth, such transmutation, that when there is more resolution in that blueprint, it allows more of that source code to come in. And what does that mean? It means more and more of who you are, in other words, your intuition, your power, because it's a part of who you are, comes into your experience. So it's a game of actually allowance. Allowance to express who you are, not rejecting your expression because it's not safe to be who you are, because it's expected by this person or that person or this situation. And so when you realize there is no greater endeavor and important thing than allowance, it adjusts the priority of where we are in life sometimes. And so, yes, it can be a never unfolding of the onion and continuous work journey. And even though it has been that challenge, it's led to where you are now, and there's no greater aspect and relevance than allowance. If this has sparked your curiosity, or this is resonating with you so far, and you're a coach, facilitator, or a soul-led leader, you know you're ready for your next level of impact, but you're still being held back by old patterns or blocks, then I have an invitation for you, because the most expansive work you can do demands the most expansive version of you, and the tools that got you here won't get you to your next level. I'm hosting a live 3-day immersion where for the first time you can experience the power of trans-quantum energy work for yourself. I will also share more channeled insights on how the soul blueprint is holding you back from your next level of impact. This is for the spiritual entrepreneur who is ready to stop wasting time figuring it out on their own. Your mission is too important to wait. The link is in the description down below for you to register, and I'll see you there. Until next time, bye.